With 20 hours to go at the time of this recording and over $5.5 million already raised, I am going to explain to you guys why I think it's very important for you guys to jump on the opportunity right here, right now on Altered TCG. Because after this and the campaign has officially ended, I don't think you're going to get this opportunity again. What is going on, guys, and welcome back to TCG Madness. And in today's video, I want to discuss Altered TCG and why I think it's important. Number one, I think it's important for you guys to back it. If you haven't already backed it, by the end of this video, hopefully, or even right now, at some point in this video, you pause, maybe come back and watch it, or maybe after a couple of minutes of you listening to me, you go in and you back this card game. I'm going to try to do my best to explain why I think it's important and why I think there's a reason why this card game has officially raised over $5.5 million. At the time of this recording, yes, you can see right here on the screen, over $5.5 million raised with 12,000, a little more than 12,000 backers. And yes, you only have at the time of this recording 20 hours ago. I will drop this video here once I am done recording this. I want to talk about all things Altered TCG. If you guys have not checked out any of my gameplay videos, I'm going to put them all down in the description box. If you want to learn and you want an ultimate guide on how to play, I will drop a YouTube channel called Main Deck, who does a masterful job. I've said this time and time again. He does a masterful job at giving you guys a full breakdown and ultimate guide on how to play this card game. There is a reason why this card game is raising this type of money right now. This is something I personally have never seen. I've seen card games on Kickstarter before raise, $1 million or close to $1 million. I've never seen $5.5 million, and there is a reason why. This card game is offering you guys something fresh, something new, something we've never seen before. It's taking elements from different card games. It's also doing something that no card game has ever done before. There's a reason why there's a lot of hype. There's a reason why they've raised, again, I'm going to bring this number up every time, $5.5 million. Just quantify that in your head. Think about that. $5.5 million. I've been within the first, I think, 48 hours. I think this game already raised like 1.2. By the halfway point, it was already over 2 million. And now we're here at the home stretch with 20 hours to go. And last time I checked, they were at 3.2, which is about 2 weeks ago. And now you guys can see over $5.5 million. And this card game, guys, by the way, you're probably saying like, oh, that means, this card game must be expensive to back. No, it is not. No, it is not. It is not expensive. I'm going to show you guys all the pledges, all the tiers. I really do think you're not going to get this opportunity. Once the 20 hours is over, that's it. Whatever the prices are right here on Kickstarter, I believe, are going to be the cheapest prices to get in on this card game. The starter decks, the booster box, all that. Once this starts hitting the hands of everybody, I think you're going to see these booster boxes resell at a ridiculous price. So let me go ahead and talk to you again. If you guys want to see some gameplay, I did 3 videos. There was a point during the early Kickstarter campaign where they had, I think it was boardgame.com or something like that, boardgamearena.com, where you can go and you can play test all the decks on your computer. I did a bunch of videos for that. It was a lot of fun. It was a great way to kind of feed into that a little bit, and it definitely got me very excited. I was already going to back it before playing it. Once I started playing the actual card game in the digital format, I was like, man, this is going to be awesome. And yes, there will be a digital format at the full release of this card game. That's another thing. So if you're not, like maybe I don't want to, back something, another physical card game, if I'll just play the online version, you can absolutely do that. But if you get the physical version, you will be able to scan certain cards that you then can add to your online collection. I'm going to explain about all that stuff here in a little bit. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and show you guys just the prices alone. So if you're someone who's like, man, I really don't want to get into another card game, I don't want to spend more money, don't worry. This card game is not that expensive, which is why I think it's incredible that they were able to raise this type of money. So the first thing I want to go ahead and talk about before I explain some of the nuances that Altered TCG is trying to do, I just want to show you guys just the pricing tiers and why I don't think it's not expensive to back. It really just isn't. So if you come down here, let's actually go to the tiers. So you can get 2 decks right now at $24. MSRP is going to be $30. It does say European exchange and US currency. If you guys are not familiar, it's actually very similar. I think actually for every €1, it's like 1.08. So $1.08 in United States currency. So if you see the European currency, it's very similar to the US currency. 'Cause I know there's going to be a lot of people who live in the United States that are going to be like, hey, is the European currency? Just go ahead and throw that out right now for you guys, just in case you wanted to know. So they do offer 6 starter decks. You can get 2 of them that you can choose from, which is why it was important to play the board game arena, so you can see what deck you wanted to maybe purchase first. Maybe the other decks weren't speaking your language. Maybe there was 3 decks you really liked or 4 decks you really liked. Okay, no problem. You can go ahead and pick one of these decks out for $24. $24 will get you 2 decks. So if you break that down, that's actually $12 per deck. You just get one of these decks. They're all very good decks, by the way. I played all of these decks on Board Game Arena. I played countless hours. I mean, I think I played, in the short time I was able to actually play the online version, I think I put in about roughly 50 hours of just playing it, and I got my hands on all the decks. If you wanted my personal opinion, I can actually go through each one of them. The blue deck right here. Actually, how about this? We'll go from left to right. So starting with that left deck, Axiom. Axiom plays with a lot of like landmarks that that have special type abilities that will get you certain tokens. Pretty much what they want to do. The later that game goes, the better that deck is going to run. Red deck, Bravos, pretty straightforward. Hit hard, hit often, hit fast, win as fast as you can. That's what that whole deck is going to be. If that speaks your language, if you're a very aggro style player, that's going to be your deck. Lyra plays with a lot of dice manipulation, so definitely a different type of shenanigans going on. If that speaks your language, that's going to be your deck. Muna, green. Play big creatures, play wide creatures, and keep them on the board, and then pump them up. That's basically how that deck wants to play. Ortis, blue. Ortis is very simple as well. Plays with a lot of tokens, a lot of warrior tokens. If you're Magic the Gathering, think of your white decks. Your white soldier decks, white token decks. That's basically Ortis in a nutshell. Yasmir, in my opinion, the most powerful deck because it has some of the best abilities. It has a lot of board removal, and it forces your opponent to go first, and then you react to your opponent. That's pretty much the whole decks right there. Find out which deck speaks your language. I highly recommend getting 2 decks. If you do want to get all 6, you can. It's not expensive, as you guys can see. For 2 decks, $24. So that's right there. That's just the basic interior right there. Then, if you wanted to go a little bit bigger, for $149, you will get booster box. You'll get a display of 36 boosters. 36 boosters, guys, for $149. When is the last time you have ever seen an entire case of for 36 boosters? Like, I couldn't tell you. 36 packs, 1 booster box. You're going to get 4 to 5 unique cards, $149, plus you're going to get 2 decks. Saving yourself some money right there. Absolutely love it. So there you go. Then, if you want to get bigger, you absolutely can. And notice too, 1 display here, 36 boosters. If you go bigger and go for $500, which is the pledge that I did, I went with this pledge. I got the 4 displays for 144 booster packs, so I'm going to be ripping a ton of packs. We're going to get 16, 20 unique cards. I also got the 2 decks, and I ended up spending extra money to get all the other decks that I wasn't going to miss. So I spent a little over $500 so I can get pretty much 6 decks, 4 boosters, and then I also got 1 game mat. It's a 2-player game mat too, so you can play on, 1 person can have this mat, and you can play with 2 people on that mat. That's the one I think that everybody should go with, in my opinion. For $500, you're going to get a great experience. You're going to get a bunch of packs to open up. I will be opening up here on the channel, but it's still not that expensive. MSRP is $606, so you're saving yourself a lot of money there. Then you have this one, the Legendary Pack, and this one's pretty cool as well. This is definitely for, that person who wants to basically go. This is basically your all-in right here. If you're all in on this game, $549, 3 displays, 108 boosters, 2 decks, and of course, you can always go with more decks, but you can get 2 decks that you can choose from, plus all items below. A premium deck wallet, a premium binder, all the sleeves from all the different factions, and then the really thing I like about this, if you really want to go all in, this is something that really didn't speak to me because I don't really care about tokens and stuff like that. I know I'm not going to use it, but I know there's a lot of people that would like this, but you get all in. You get all of the premium hero standees, 24 heroes and companions, which I do like the companion thing. I thought that was pretty cool as well. So you're going to get all these little standees, and then you're going to get the actual track for the lands and everything, for the grid is what I like to call it. So then you get all this, plus premium markers, plus the game. This is the game mat that I ended up getting. You can see it's a beautiful game mat. So 2 people right there. You can put the grid right there. It's easy, awesome. All stretch goals obviously have been unlocked on this because they've raised so much money for this. So if you really wanted to go all in, For $549 MSRP on this is 704. You're going to get, what is it? The other one gets you 144 boosters. So yes, you're getting a little bit less boosters, but you're getting all the other stuff below. This is the reason why I don't really care that much, but everybody to each his own. If you really wanted to go all in, obviously you can get all this, and then you can add some more displays, so you can get some more booster packs and stuff like that, which you could do if you want to do some add-ons. Personally, like I said, I think this is the one that, you know, I think is going to speak to a lot of people here. If you just wanted to get into the game, you can get this, get their other decks that you're missing, plus the game mat. And again, it's going to run you just a little over $500 because it wasn't expensive. The game mat is not expensive either, by the way. And then, of course, this is for your brick and mortar stores. So here's the optional buy-ins. If you wanted to go ahead and get extra decks, $13. If you want another booster box, $129. I want to go ahead and show off the game mat, because if I remember, yeah, I remember correctly, the game mat was not expensive. Yeah, there you go. So you get $23 for a game mat, or you get the XL one for $35, which is the one I like. Again, you only need one of these game mats, and then you're done with the game mats, because now you have one that you and your friend can play with. So there you go. So pretty much, again, you can go with the $4.99, add a little mat, add the remaining decks too. You're going to come just under about $500 there. Maybe a little bit over, of course, for taxes and shipping fees and stuff like that. If you want any more add-ons, of course, you guys can go with all the acrylic standees. That's what I said. Like, if you were going to go with this and you wanted all that, I highly recommend you just do the all-in and just add some extra booster boxes to your add-ons and stuff like that. Will it run you more money? Of course, but they are premium markers. They are really good, so nothing wrong. And of course, there's a bunch of add-ons, you know, premium zip-up albums, all that kind of stuff. So you can also do the All-Pro Altered Edition, which holds everything, your deck, your tokens, your standees, your mat, everything. This is like really, really cool. It's really detailed, and it's beautifully done, by the way. And again, if you're wondering like, well, am I ever going to use this? Is this game ever going to take off? It raised over $5.5 million, guys. This game is going to take off. I promise you. You don't raise $5.5 million. That's what I'm trying to like get to everybody. Like, if you're someone who's watching this video right now and you're wondering like, should I back it? Should I back it? It's raised over $5.5 million. And there is a reason, and I'm going to get to all that here very shortly. So again, faction package, all this stuff. Here's all your add-ons, all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much all your add-ons for the Altered TCG. And if you're wondering if they reach all their stretch goals, again, $5.5 million, they definitely reached all their stretch goals. If you want to see what those stretch goals are, here they are. You can pause the video. I'm not going to go through all of them individually, but as you guys can see, it's all been reached. They had stretch goals for 1.3 million and so on and so on and so on. So they really had like some stretch goals that were like, wow, did we? I mean, their ultimate goal was the 3.7 million, and they've crushed it. So if you want to see these, you can pause them right now. Now I want to talk about real quickly what makes this game so unique. Why did it raise $5.5 million here, and why in the last 20 hours? I think it's important if you were thinking about it, or maybe if you weren't, and then maybe now you are. Again, it's important, I think, for you guys to back it. Once this campaign ends, I don't think these prices are going to exist anymore. Why this game is so unique is because it's doing something that's never been done before, and there's a lot of excitement. I saw some people, and I'm going to go ahead and show it up right here. Let's see if I can find a card of it right there. So you can see these QR codes. They exist on all these cards. Now, I did see some people kind of complaining about these QR codes. Clearly, it's not a big deal because, again, it raised a lot of money. So I guess it's not, you know, not that big of a deal. Why are there QR codes, though, on the card? They are going to have a digital version. Every card you open, every card you have in physical form will have this QR code that you can then scan and add to your online collection. Another thing that's very unique about this game is the gameplay. And again, if you want to watch some gameplay, go check out some of my videos. There will be links down below in the description box, excuse me, where you guys can go check it out. It's a very unique game. It kind of takes some elements of like Sorcery Contested Realm, uses kind of like a grid, but it doesn't exactly use a grid. It kind of just uses some planes that you are then tracking with your hero and your companion. You have to make them both meet. If they both meet, you win the game. Again, that's just something very different from what we're used to. We're used to seeing a lot of either point system or just attacking your opponent directly, or some kind of hero mechanic where you have a hero and he has a certain amount of life and you're just reducing that to your opponents. This game doesn't do any of that. This game is completely different. It's something that I really have never seen before, and it's never been done before. So there's definitely a high uniqueness element to this game. And what you're also seeing with this card game too, and again, if you want to watch gameplay, go check out some of my videos. What you also saw with this gameplay and with the mechanics of this game is that there's definitely some elements that you can see them eventually building upon, whether it could be a larger format, extra elements, all that kind of stuff. Multiplayer, you can see that being implemented eventually in this game. And again, too, if you're not so sure and you don't want to spend money on the physical version, there will be a free digital version that you guys can play. It's just obviously we're going to have some of the better cards if you do get the physical version, because you can scan these cards and get them. Another thing that's also very cool about this card game is there's one unique card per 8 boosters. What is a unique card? A unique card in this game is basically a card that will not have in any other format. And you guys can read it right here. Once every 8 boosters, a unique card will replace a rare card. By unique, we mean that no other card in the world will have the same combination of power and stats. The developers had said that we are going to put one of these in every 8 boosters. It's going to replace a rare that you will get, and this card will not exist. No one will have it. You want to know how they know that? Because the computer is generating these cards. It's going to have a certain type of algorithm where the power, the stats, the color, the combination, the abilities, everything will be unique only to that card. That means that you can pull this unique card. It can have some godlike abilities, but nobody's going to have that card. Only you will have that card, which means that these cards are going to have a very unique element, but they're going to have a very unique price attached to them. There's no way anybody can actually price these cards out because it's going to be unique. It's going to be under certain circumstances to some person. It may have godlike abilities. It may have abilities that actually you favor. It may have a completely different color. This Radtasker may only exist in red, but if you get a unique one that exists in green, has all like unique red abilities that gives you an extra advantage. Like that's the type of stuff that really gets players excited. That means only if you pull that card, only you are going to have it. No one unique card is going to be the same. They guarantee that actually. And I think that is fantastic. That's something different, something we've never seen before. There's a lot of things that you will say throughout this card game. I've never seen that before. This card game has it. There's a reason why there's a lot of hype. There's a reason why there's a lot of buzz. And there's a reason why personally I am so excited. I cannot wait to rip open booster boxes. I cannot wait to get a case in my hands, rip open some booster boxes, and I cannot wait. I may actually change my pledge by the end of this and actually pre-order 8 boosters so I can at least guaranteed one unique card, because it's one in every 8 boosters. So that's something I even consider by the end of this video. Another thing too is their rarity system. Of course, they show you all of this: common, rare, unique. The artwork as well is also unique. Also too, the card game in general, only 39 cards in a deck to start, so you don't need a lot of cards. So you could eventually just get one booster and you can have yourself a very fun playable deck. Another thing too, I think that's also very cool about this card game too, there does not seem to be a push for a meta. I'm so sick and tired of talking about metas in card games right now. It's ridiculous. Every card game has what they refer to as their meta, and then there's the anti-meta. There's a lot of card games that do that now. It's getting very stale, very boring, and very just, it's wrong in so many different ways. Unfortunately, that's the way it's always going to be. It always will be that way. This card game, though, does seem like it's trying to avoid that at all costs. Will there be some kind of meta in this card game? Of course there's going to be, but when you have cards that are unique, that are only special to you and nobody else, that does kind of disrupt the meta a little bit. You have to admit that. Like, it's very hard to have a meta if you have a unique card that you can't game plan for. You can't, even fathom. When you sit down with a buddy of yours and you play this card game, they have a unique card that's unique to them and nobody else. Like, how do you game plan for that, So it does seem like there seems to be some type of push for a more diverse card game of like, hey, all these cards are going to have a purpose. There's too many card games that they have the commons, the uncommons. There's just no purpose for them whatsoever. Magic the Gathering, in my opinion, does the best job with that with Commander. There's almost every card in the card game has a place for it somewhere, somehow. But, you guys know, if you guys are a card game player yourselves, or if you guys watching this, of course you guys are. How many cards, though, do you just keep, ripping up a boost box? You're like, nope, don't need, and that card just gets thrown to the side, right? It gets thrown into a pile that you eventually either throw away. It becomes what we call bulk, and we don't care for it. Doesn't have a place for it. That's just the nature of the game. So you're wondering, like, where do these cards go? What do I do with these cards? You don't do anything with them. You eventually just throw them away and they become trash. This card game seems to try to avoid that by saying, hey, every card in here is going to have a purpose somewhere. And that's pretty cool. It also has a full set breakdown. There's 162 commons, 324 cards. There's unique cards. There's no certain amount of unique cards, obviously, because they're unique. They're different in every way. 18 hero cards, 4 tokens. They also have drop rates here, which is, I think, is incredible too. So you can see there's 14 cards in a pack, it looks like. And then you can see how it's all going to break down. So, right there. Or excuse me, not in a pack, in a booster. And you're going to see which ones you're going to get. So you're going to get 1 foil heroes, you're going to get a bunch of commons, and all that other stuff. And then, of course, your chances of getting any specific cards are as followed. There's a lot of cards here to choose from. This is only their first set. There's different factions, which I think, again, I love factions in card games. I wish more card games would follow that. I even wish Yu-Gi-Oh! Would come up with a format that had faction-based. I think that's what they're ultimately missing. All this, like I said, guys, you guys can, I'm scrolling through, you can pause at any point in time if you want. All this, I just want to go ahead and, like I said, make this video because there's only 20 hours left in this campaign. And again, once I think it's over, it's over. I don't think these prices are going to exist. Obviously, they're not going to this. That's why they have the MSRP prices up there. This is going to be basically your early bird special. This is the way to get in now before prices jump up. Because once prices jump up, that is going to be it. And a lot of you guys are probably going to be kicking yourselves being like, oh, I wish I would have backed it. Even if you back and just get the 6 starter decks, even if you back and get the 6 starter decks and 1 booster, that'll run you about almost $200, $150 to $200 for a booster and 2 starter decks. A booster and 6 starter decks will run you just a little over $200. That's not breaking the bank. That's pretty good, you know? So, again, and you guys can see each card game 15 to 30 minutes, 13 years old. About it, don't care about that. But there is 2 to 4 players, which means there is going to be a multiplayer format that's going to be releasing here with this set as well. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Let me know if you guys think that you guys are going to back this as well. I'll tell you right now, like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of videos on this because this is a card game that I think is going to be... It definitely speaks my language. I'm just saying that right now. This card game is speaking my language. I've been waiting for something new, something fresh, something we haven't seen before. And this card game's hitting on all cylinders. And there's a digital version, which is excellent for me because... Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of buddies that want to play this card game, so the digital version will do just as well. And all the cards that I get in the physical form, I can scan and put in the digital version as well. So that's pretty cool for me as well. Again, let me know what you guys think. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Please do me the big favor. Hit that like button. If you're new, consider hitting that subscribe button. And again, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about Altered TCG, whether or not you guys are backing it, not backing it, whether or not you're at least excited to maybe some booster box opening, stuff like that, because definitely gonna be bringing that. So hope you guys enjoyed it. That's gonna do it for me. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I'll see you guys next time.